Welcome to Central News, I'm Amy Forrest. In today's news, Bay of Plenty farmers are starting to sell and dry off their herds in an attempt to manage valuable food prices as the drought continues to bite. A state of drought was officially declared in the Bay of Plenty last week, and farmers are beginning to take precautionary action as the dry weather looks set to continue throughout the rest of March. Federated Farmers Bay of Plenty Provincial President John Scrimgeour says farmers have been selling off cattle for a couple of weeks, while some are resorting to drying off their herds 6 to 8 weeks ahead of schedule. AFCO Operations Manager Rowan Ogg says more farmers are selling cattle due to the drought, which is placing extra pressure on processing plants across the industry. He says the extra supply of cattle will lead to a slightly larger bulge in meat supply in the coming months, but admits New Zealand exports a vast amount of meat in any event. House prices and sale volumes are experiencing a summer surge, with the median house price in Tauranga and Mount Maunganui increasing more than 10% in February. In Mount Maunganui, house prices rose from a median of $387,000 in January to $432,000 in February. The median house price in Mount Maunganui in February 2012 was $415,000. In Tauranga, prices rose from $320,000 in January to $360,000, according to figures from the Real Estate Institute of New Zealand. REINZ reports sale volumes in February increased by almost 40% across the Bay of Plenty region compared to January. Chief Executive Helen O'Sullivan says the Bay of Plenty region is seeing a growth in sales volume, although price growth across the region is patchy. Now for our region's weather for the weekend. Hamilton, your Saturday will have rain developing and northerlies will freshen up. Your expected high is 25 and an overnight low of 17. Tauranga, your Saturday will be overcast with evening drizzle. Your expected high is 24 and an overnight low of 18. Sunday for you, Hamilton, showers and the northwesterly will turn into a southwesterly. Your expected high is 23 and an overnight low of 11. Tauranga, your Sunday will be drizzly, turning into rain. There will be a freshening northeasterly. Your expected high is 24 and an overnight low of 19. Just ahead, gardening the sustainable way. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. The month of March is being celebrated the sustainable way thanks to the Bay of Plenty Enviro Hub. Hilary found out more.
So what is Sustainable Backyard Month?
It's a month-long program of events with talks, tours, lectures, conferences, pretty much anything you can think of to help celebrate and the local initiatives that are happening and inspire people to get involved.
What makes a backyard actually sustainable?
Using your resources wisely, really. Growing seeds, reusing what you've got in your garden, using energy-saving light bulbs. It could be anything. Volunteering for your local care group. It's a broad picture.
And why did Enviro Hub want to hold this event?
So this is the 8th year that we've run this program, and we hope to see it expand across the region in the next few years. We've had Hannah's Bay Community Restoration Trust take on the program last year, and they're also promoting it in Rotorua this year. So we hope to see it continue to grow and expand across the region.
What is Earth Hour?
Earth Hour is a global initiative promoted by the Worldwide Fund for Nature, and every year it takes place towards the end of March between 8:30 to 9:30 p.m, encouraging people to turn off their lights and think about the impact they can make to reduce climate change.
So did Enviro Hub want to hold the Backyard Month in conjunction with Earth Hour?
So last year Tauranga was the head city for the Earth Hour celebrations in New Zealand, and that was a reflection of all of the volunteers that were involved with the RENA, and this year the council has asked us to take it on, so we are promoting the Earth Hour Big Dessert Night, and so we decided to encourage community groups and neighbours to sign up to host a dessert night in their backyards. It could be on their reserve, in at home or in a local school, and eat dessert. We did say by candlelight, but with the fire ban we're encouraging everyone to gather up their torches and any solar lights they have instead, and perhaps make a community pledge of action that they can do beyond Earth Hour.
And Noel, what is no-dig gardening?
Hello, I'm glad you asked that question. It's simply gardening without digging. It's putting digging behind you. Forget about that. It's something of the past, and it's growing your vegetables and your food in a mulch on the surface of the soil instead of digging down into the soil. Much easier. It's not hard work, and if you've got a sore back or something like that, it's actually something that you can do.
So you don't have to put the seed under the ground?
No, you can usually drop the seeds on the ground, and in fact, once you get a no-dig gardening going, the seedlings actually start coming up on their own.
What are some good composting practices?
I think that using everything organic that you can lay your hands on in your own backyard is a move towards sustainability, and then gathering up organic material from anywhere near in the neighbourhood, and using that. It seems that the more that you put on your ground, the longer that you're going to have that organic material there. And an old gardener many years ago, Douglas Kay, he told me that, this is going back about 40 years, that for every time you put some compost on the ground, the effect lasts for 7 years. And I was just saying to Emma today, if I put 7 years worth of organic material on the ground, that gives me 49 years in the bank of organics. So,
can you put eggshells in your compost?
yeah, you certainly can, and as I say, anything organic, anything that will rot, and it's a matter of mixing it up. Even the things that people tell you shouldn't put in compost bins, if it's organic, you can put it in there, but you need to mix it together.
And what is sheet composting?
Okay, sheet composting is like laying a sheet across the surface of the soil, and I guess you're making a garden bed then of organic mulch and litter that is composting on the ground, and it's actually got an advantage over having a big compost pile or a compost heap as we have conventionally done in the past. It's understood that it actually sequesters the carbon and the CO2 directly into the soil much more efficiently than using an ordinary compost heap. With an ordinary compost heap, a lot of that CO2 and carbon actually escapes into the atmosphere, whereas with sheet composting it doesn't. And it makes a marvellous bed for you to start your plants off.
So how hard is it to keep a worm farm in our garden?
It's not hard at all, Hilary, to keep worm farms. In fact, it's as easy as falling off a log. And you can use, there's all sorts of little round types and square types on the market, and I actually find the best ones are old baths. And I put them on a bit of a stand, put a bucket underneath the drain plug, and I can catch the liquid or the leachate. And even easier still, you can actually make your no-dig garden into a worm farm just by liberating the worms in the garden.
What are your favourite gardening tips?
My favourite gardening tips, I think that we'd be talking about things like getting your head around the change in gardening from conventional digging and artificial fertilisers, and it's go organic, go sustainable, and go no dig. There you go.
Check out envirohub.org.nz to see the events calendar and to find out about all things sustainable. Coming up next, organ donor awareness. Welcome back to Central News. The Strand Tauranga will be blocked off tomorrow for the Big Thank You Car Show, raising awareness for a very special cause. I spoke with Danny Saunders to find out more.
Okay, Amy, what we're doing is we're running a big car show for organ donor awareness. We've got 150 cars entered. We have a pin-up girl competition. It's just to attract the public so that we can encourage conversation about the subject, and it's also a place to celebrate people that have done really well like me, and to recognise people that have been donors. So basically bringing all the teams together and trying to spread the word. Yeah.
Okay, and so what other types of entertainment and things can people expect on the day?
Okay, we've got a local radio station that's going to be there on the day. They're going to broadcast music from the show. We've also got stuff for the kids. We've got bouncy castle, we've got face painting, we've got all sorts of stuff for the kids. We're going to try and entertain people as much as we can. However, everyone's coming to look at the cars. But it'll be really good. A lot of people from the North Island all socialising, from Wellington to Kaitaia, that haven't seen each other for a long time. And it's just a really good chance to catch up.
Okay, it sounds like a great event. So when and where will this be held?
Okay, it's going to be held tomorrow, of course, on the 16th, Saturday the 16th, at the waterfront in Tauranga, which is along the Strand. The Tauranga Council has been fantastic. They've given us the whole waterfront. Wow. So we didn't need to close off any roads, which makes it much easier, much cheaper for us. So yeah, that's where it's going to happen, Amy, right down on the waterfront.
And does the event cost?
There is, all it is a gold coin donation. It's not about the money, Amy, it's about getting people there to enjoy the day and hopefully talk about the subject at hand.
Yeah, okay.
Which is organ donor awareness.
Yeah, so tell me a bit about this. The event's not just about the pretty looking cars. Tell me about the awareness donor.
Well, the awareness, Amy, is unfortunately in New Zealand we have a very, very low organ donor rate, which is not the Kiwi way. 4.5 million people, we should have, with the generosity of New Zealanders, we're famous for our generosity. But unfortunately it's just a really misunderstood cause. So hopefully we're going to encourage people to talk about it. I'm not out to try and convert people. Whether you believe in organ donation or not, that doesn't even come into it. That's a personal choice. But what we're trying to do is get people to discuss it with their families. Unfortunately, it seems to be a taboo subject in New Zealand, which is really a shame. We're also trying to bring into the fold the Polynesian people, of course, the Maori, the Pacific Islanders, and try and get them to talk about it, because unfortunately, once again, we have a low donor rate. Yeah, so that's what it's about.
Now, can you tell me a bit about your story and why you're so passionate about this event?
Yep, sure. I had emphysema caused through alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, and it's a genetic disease, and unfortunately I was quite knocked around by it. It started actually in my late 30s, and at the time they thought it was asthma, but it turned out to be emphysema. My father died of the same thing, and so anyway, by the time I was 40, I was just getting worse and worse. By the time I was in my late 50s, I was on oxygen as often as I could. I still tried to work because I wasn't eligible for a benefit or anything, so I had to work. But in the end, I couldn't even do that. So I knocked off work around June, I think it was, of 2010. I could not work at all. At that stage, I was on an oxygen machine 24 hours a day. And so luckily for me, I got a transplant in August 2010. And being the weed that I am, of course, I haven't missed a beat. I have no issues whatsoever. While I was in hospital, the doctor came around, one of the surgeons, and he said, I was a star patient, he said, he probably says that to everybody, and he said to me, well, hopefully we'll give you 5 years. So I knew that I didn't have time to muck around. I wanted to pay back, and that's what this is all about, pay forward. I want other families to have the opportunity that I had. And so that was what it was about. I'm into American cars, hot rods, have been for a long, long time, ex-Westie boy. So you use what tools you have available. I'm well known within the hot rod scene. I have a lot of friends, and they've come to the party. This is the easiest way for me to promote it. Everybody has their own strengths. This is mine.
Well, thank you so much for telling us your story, and it sounds like it's an amazing event. It will be a great day for everyone to come along. And you mentioned something about a pin-up competition.
Yes,
can you tell us about
Amy.
that?
Yes, I'm pleased to say that you'll be in that.
We'll see, no promises.
No, the pin-up competition is just another form of entertainment. I'm quite heavily into the hot rod scene, and part of that is the rockabilly scene. and pin-up girls and hot rods go together. So we're having a 1950s pin-up competition. I've used my friend Trelise Cooper, the fashion designer. She's coming down to judge it, which is an amazing thing. At the moment, she's in Mexico. She's all around the world. So she's coming back early from her trip, especially to judge the pin-up competition. So it's fantastic. Some good prizes. At this stage we have 10 or 15 girls entered, but there's probably another 1 or 2 coming in every day. So I'm hoping to have 20 girls. And some good prizes there. Trelise Cooper's put up a $500 voucher for her clothing. Also Rita Sue is another one of my sponsors. She does vintage clothing, and she's put up a $200 voucher. Plus there's a spot prize, which is quite major actually. So yeah, it's another form of entertainment, another way of celebrating the hot rods on the day.
Sounds like a very worthy cause to support, and TV Central will also be filming this event. Make sure you tune in on Monday evening to view the highlights. Up next, a multicultural festival for all to enjoy. If you have just joined us, welcome to Central News. Now, if you are looking for something to do tomorrow, you could head along to the Tauranga Multicultural Festival. There will be lots to see and eat.
Tauranga Multicultural Festival has been running here for 13 years, so this one is the 14th festival. We're running it for the last 3 years in the historic village, and the idea of the festival is to give platform for people who come to live in Tauranga from various countries from around the world to showcase their culture. We've got performance, we've got food, we've got arts and crafts. The other side of this festival is also we've got lots of service providers, businesses and services which help migrants, like settlement support, citizen advice bureau, that kind of organizations. And so the newcomers can come and one day not only get entertained and have lots of fun, but also learn a little bit about what's available in Tauranga. On the other side of the coin is also the local who lived here the whole life or were born in Tauranga, to have them a chance to see what the newcomers are about. And we've got a huge range of performance and from various countries, and we've got a fantastic day.
What are some of the cultural dances that we can see at this event?
We've got anything from European dances, we've got Asian, we've got Pacific Island, we've got even South African. Quite a range. How many dances have you got? We've got over 24, 25 performers from various countries. Some will be dancing, some will be singing, majority actually is dances. And we're finishing for the first time this year with a Caribbean steel pan band from Auckland, which never done before. And they're giving us concert at the end, which will be about 45 minutes to an hour, which we're very excited about. Something totally different we had before.
So what kind of yummy food will there be?
With the food, oh, that's, again, we got so many actually people who wanted to come and have their food stalls that we have to say stop. We haven't got more space because village has got limits, obviously, how many we can put here. But again, we've got from all over the world, Solomon Islands, German, Polish, Thai, Filipino, something from American countries as well, Nepal, some food probably people never tried before, so there's a chance today, on Saturday here in the village to try.
What kind of costumes will be in the parade?
In the parade, we probably will have majority of the people who are on the stage, who will be singing or dancing in the stage, they will go in the parade. And also we have asked people, anybody from Tauranga who has got a costume, wants to come on the day, just come in their costume. And we've got lots of flags here, so they can collect the flag from their own country. And then this whole group will march, led by Tauranga Samba. So we gave lots of noise with the drums, and we'll go all around the village, around the streets, so everybody who, not only the people who sit in front of the stage, but anybody else can have a good look and take very good photos.
And what time is the costume parade?
The parade starts midday, and it's about 45 minutes by the time the whole group walks around the village.
The Tauranga Regional Multicultural Council, who are you?
We are a volunteer organisation. we've been formed nearly 20 years ago. It'll be 20 years next year. The idea about Multicultural Council, which we changed the name, actually it was Ethnic Council before, originally was to protect people, newcomers, from the racist remarks and racist situation they were in, and be their voice to the government to do something about it. Since the very beginning, our role actually expanded now. So we're not only trying to make the life for them easier, but we promote the different cultures. We do running language classes for the newcomers. We've got Justice of Peace here, we've got lawyer here. We've got several programs we're running. We're running a program which is called Newcomers Network, which is specifically geared, that one is funded by Ministry of Social Development. And this one is specifically geared for anybody new in Tauranga, not only for people from different countries, but also newcomers from different cities, who might find moving from one city to another, they're a bit like migrants too, because they left behind their old circle of friends. So they're looking for some place where they can meet new people. And this is very popular. It actually takes place here on Wednesday. And we've got on the list, we might have now probably about 100, but for Newcomers Network morning coffee, we've got an average about between 20 plus.
Do most new immigrants find that there is a welcoming attitude in Tauranga City?
Oh, that's various. That's really various. Lots of people say yes. It's fine. There's no problem. They are really readily accepted and they love it. Some other find it difficult. We still, unfortunately, get the news from some people or information that there is still racist remarks. Just the other day, somebody told me the shopkeeper been kids going around and throwing stones in the shop because he was Indian. So there is an undercurrent of racism still unfortunate in the city, which is, yeah. With the events like the festival, that's where we're trying to counteract this, trying to make people understand that we're all fantastic, we're all people. The fact that we're born in different countries doesn't make any difference, really.
The festival starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow at the Historic Village on 17th Ave. Well, that is news for today. We really want you to be involved, so like us on Facebook and let us know your views. If you have news, including your own video and photos, go to our website and hit upload. Thanks for joining us. Hilary will be back next week with more guests from in and around our regions. I'm Amy Forrest. Have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.